You gave me 3 verses to check.
You checked it?
Yeah.
What was your...
In one of the verses, it says like, don't tell these things to like who don't like me.
No, not that. In one case, he says, I neither give anything to you or take anything. That is your sins I will not pardon, or boons I will not grant. It's your own responsibility.
Yes.
It's a result of cause and effect. In another place it says, you forget about everything, you surrender to me, I will clear you of all your sins.
Yes.
So they are contradictory. That's the problem what I was telling.
Okay. So which one we should take in that case?
In that case, what matches with Vedas is the best thing to take.
Okay.
So the first one where it says, you are responsible for your own action. God will never interfere in reducing the sin or the effect of sin or granting a boon once you pray. All those things are anti-Vedic. So the shlokas that we have got in the 18th chapter have to be forgotten.
Okay.
Right. Okay, we will continue with that. Tena jivanti pradishaha chatasraha. Tena jivanti pradishaha chatasraha. Tena jivanti pradishaha chatasraha. Atharva, it's only a piece of the mantra I'm speaking. Atharva 9.10.19. 9.10.19. 9th Kanda, 10th Sukta, 19th Mantra. Tena jivanti pradishash chatasraha. Pradishaha chatasraha. Jivanti. The root for it is Jiva Prana Dharane. Jiva Prana Dharane. Jiva Prana Dharane. Chatasraha. All the 4. Chatasraha, all the 4. Pradishaha. Pra plus dishaha. Pra plus dishaha. A root for dishaha is Disha Atisarjane. Disha Atisarjane. So the basic preparation is ready. That is, we have seen the words and the roots of those words. Now next step, to understand what it means. Jiva Prana Dharane. Prana Dharana, that is to make it live. To make it live. So wherever that concept is there, that idea is there, yes, we derive a word starting from that Jiva. That is the root. Jiva Pranadharane. And the final word what you get here is, this derived word is Jivanti. Jivanti. They all live. That's in the plural form, Jivanti. Then we got Chatasraha, all the 4 directions. Now it is only representative. It's not that we have got only 4 directions there. Anybody who is aware of this basic mathematics or geometry, they will understand that once we stand at a point and take a turn, one turn, it is equal to 360 degrees. So many directions are there. Not only 360 degrees, each degree is divided into minutes and each minute is divided into seconds. So 360 into 60 into 60, so many directions are there. That is on one plane, if I take one turn. So if the plane changes its angle, yes, we have got an infinite number of directions. Chatasraha is a representative statement. So all directions, Chatasraha, though it means direct meaning is 4, it actually means all directions. Then we got Dishaha, Pra plus Dishaha, Pradishaha. Now Disha is Atisarjana. Now if there is a close resemblance between Disha and direction, somewhat it sounds very closer. Both mean the same thing, Disha, direction. Now this direction is a concept where we understand something about space. So where there is a space, there is direction. If there is no space, there is no direction at all. So space and direction, they are closely related. Now what is space? Now what is space? That's another question. Space is one where movement is possible. Space and movement, they are related. Is our common experience. It is too narrow. I cannot move freely. There is no space. So all these things we use. Oh, this is very spacious. How do you say it's very spacious? Because I'm free to move. I'm free to move in any direction, in any place. I can wave my hands, I can jump, everything I can do, I can run. Because it is spacious. You see that Atisarjana means that. Atisarjana means movement which is free movement. Atisarjana. Disha Atisarjane. That's the root. That means Disha is that where free movement is possible. Pradisha, the highest spacious thing. Pradisha. So finally Pradisha means every space.
Okay.
Now the only thing which is taking care of every space, that is Tena, that's the beginning. Tena Jivanti Pradishaha Chatasraha. Now who is that Tena? Now I am speaking of the whole space. That Tena can be nothing but one power which is omnipresent. That is Satchidananda, that we discussed earlier sufficiently. Tena Jivanti Pradishaha Chatasraha. 191. So it is that Satchidananda which is responsible for Jivanti, Jiva Pranadharane, that is something to live, something to evolve, something to move, where Pradeshas Chatasraha, in all directions, in all space. Now once again, back to this Jiva Dharana. We know that there are three entities, that is Sat, Satchit and Satchidananda. It's very clear for us. Now Sat is totally inert. It's all the material world. This whole material world, what we have got, it's all Sat. It exists, but is not aware of its existence. That's why we have discussed sufficiently earlier. And newcomers, they can listen to those talks and get greater introduction to it. Then Satchidananda, yes, that is one which exists everywhere, is aware of everything, that is omnipresent, omnipotent, and all blissful. This we call it as Ananda. Bliss is equal to Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. Now that always exists and is alive. Inert, it can never be alive. It is always inert, no awareness, nothing. It is dead. Now the only thing which is Jiva, that we refer to the second one, is Satchit. For that, we say it is alive only when it is involved in actions and reactions. Otherwise, we say it is in a dormant stage. It's not inert. At the same time, it is not omnipotent, omnipresent, or omniscient. It's a stage we call it as dormant. Dormant. It has the potential, but is not active. It has got conscience, but it's not active. When we use the word dormant, it means potential is there, but not functioning. But it has got a capacity to function, provided some assistance is given. Now what is that assistance? That assistance is Sharira Indriya Manas, a tool to the Satchit. Without that tool, it cannot function, it cannot act, it cannot react. It's a limitation of this second entity called Satchit. It's very easy to understand, it's not difficult to understand. So if you want to say you need an equipment called this eyes. If you want to think, I need one CPU called brain. Without that CPU I cannot work. In the same way, if I have to breathe for the existence of the Sharira Indriya Manas, I need another tool, the lungs. So this whole Jivatman depends upon Sharira Indriya Manas for its functioning. And the Sharira Indriya Manas, all this is a tool to it. Unless the tool is there, it cannot function. That's its limitation. But does it not have the capacity to function? Yes, it has got it.
Okay.
But not independent. It is dependent on a tool. Now, somebody has to give the tool to it so that it can function. Now, who is that? Or who is giving that, or who can give that? Tena jivanti pradeshaha chatasraha. It is a Satchidananda alone which can give this tool to Satchit. And the tool is made up of, the other entity called Sat, that's the inert material. So in general we call it Panchabhuta. Panchabhuta, space, air, fire, water, and earth. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi. These are the 5 elements. In a Vedic science, we limit the number of elements out of which the whole physical world is made to 5 elements. In the modern science, say we go for this periodic table and 108 plus elements and their isotopes and other things. Okay, that's the view of the modern science. The ancient science, it limits it to only 5 and it covers all these 108 plus in that 5 only. Of course, with its different proportions and combinations. The basic elements are 5. The 108 elements what we are speaking of in the modern science, they are due to the different proportion of these 5 only. Because of the change in proportion, yes, it is recognized as something new, something different. And if you discuss like that, it's not just 108 elements.
Yeah.
These are 108 elements that have been discovered so far, but there could be numerous. Because of proportions, even a small change in proportion gives it a different entity, gives it a different property, gives it a different atomic number, gives it a different atomic weight. So these are all Pakka science. Now the whole thing is considering the Vedic science as just 5 elements. Now out of these 5 elements, a system is established wherein tools are created and these tools are given to the Satchit. Unless the tool is given, Satchit is dormant. It's not inert, it is dormant. I repeat the words inert and dormant. We should be very careful about it.
Okay.
Inert can never function on its own, whatever you give it. Coming to Satchidananda, it doesn't need any tool at all. It is totally independent. That is what we call it as Sarvashakta, omnipotent. So it doesn't need any tool at all. Whereas the one which is Satchit, it needs a tool but is not capable of creating its own tool. It's dependent on something else which has to create a tool and present it for it. And what is that? Tena. Tena is that Satchidananda. Inner thing cannot do it. Satchit cannot do it on its own. So the only thing left is that Satchidananda, and that provides the tool, that provides the knowledge how to use the tool, that provides what all is required for Satchit. Only then the Satchit or the soul is capable of being active, is capable of doing so many actions through the tools, and is capable of achieving its goal. What is its goal? To experience peace, to experience bliss, to experience Ananda. For that it has to train itself, for that it has to care itself, for that it has to temper itself, and for all that it needs a tool. That's the limitation. So whatever it is searching for, whatever it is striving for, all that it can get only when there is a tool. And who is the person who gives the tool? Tena jivanti pradishaha chatasraha. And where it will give? Anywhere, anywhere. Chatasraha. Chatasraha is symbolic, I have told you, is representative for all directions. Wherever it is there, it can provide. So this Satchit or the soul gets its tool and can move ahead, forge ahead towards its goal of peace and Santosha or Ananda. And for that, it requires the tool, and Tena Jivanti. Because of that, it lives. Because of that, it gets it. So that is the gist of it. Explanation about Satchit, Satchidananda, of course, we have discussed a lot. Therefore, this whole meaning becomes complete, taking into account all those things.
Yes.
What is Sat, what is Satchit, and what is Satchidananda. That is, finally it is, Satchit is provided with the tool anywhere, in all forms possible, and with that it is capable of achieving its goal, achieving its aim. Next. We can add one more thing. It just provides not the tool once.
Any number of
Okay, we are
times.
provided with Sharira Indriya Manas once, fine. But this cannot live eternally. It has got an end. What next? No problem at all. It goes on giving it again and again and again, and that is a birth and death cycle. So it keeps the whole thing live. There's a whole process live. It's not one life. The process of the Satchit to achieve the peace and bliss. Now that whole process is kept alive through that birth and death cycle. And who keeps on managing it? Yes, that is the cosmic law which is established by Prena, that's Satchidananda. Next. Ekam Jyotihi. Ekam Jyotihi. Bahudha Vibhati. Ekam Jyotihi Bahudha Vibhati. Ekam Jyotihi Bahudha Vibhati. Atharva 13.3.17. 13.3.17. 13th Kanda, 3rd Sukta, 17th Mantra. Ekam Jyotihi Bahudha Vibhati. Jyotihi,
Light.
Dyutau, that's the root. Dyutau. Dyuti means light. Luminescence.
Dyutau.
Vibhati. Bhadiptau. To shine. Bhadiptau. Ekam Jyotihi Bahudha Vibhati.
Dew.
The source is one. The source is one. That is source of light is one. And it can be seen in anything and everything. Bahudha Vibhati. Bahudha means in many ways. Bahudha Vibhati. Ekam Jyotihi Bahudha Vibhati. So, one physical example that can be taken to understand this is, we know that white light, white light.
Spectrum.
But this white light is not one. Our white light is one, but within it, we have got Vibgaya. The spectrum we have got. So we got a spectrum, and all those combined together is one white light. So is it white or is it a spectrum?
A spectrum.
It's white only. But in it, we have got the spectrum. So this one example we can have to understand this. So the light that is shining in the whole universe is one. But within it, we have got different hues, different colors, different shades. But all behind it is one. Now please, here I want to clarify. Let us not confuse this with the Advaita philosophy. I am not speaking of that, and it doesn't refer to that also. It means the existence of Satchidananda, the existence of God, we can see in everything or anything. That's the meaning. It's not that everything is one. I think I'm clear about it.
Yes.
The existence of that one we can see in anything or everything. So that anything, everything is also there. It's not that nothing is there, it's only one. You can see that one in everything. It's the other way around. So it will be very clear for us to understand it. Now we have got different other Veda mantras which support this.
Okay.
That's why this meaning is more meaningful, or this is more accurate. Now what is that? Vishnoha karmani pashyata.
Vishnu.
This piece of another Veda mantra. Vishnoha karmani pashyata. In another Veda mantra it says, Devasya pashya kavyam. Devasya pashya kavyam. So what does this mean? Kavya means the creation. Kavya means the work of
Kavi.
an artisan, the work of a poet, whatever it is. If something is created, something is brought into existence, yes, that is called as kavya. It doesn't mean only poem or poetry or any such thing. It could be anything. A pot is the poetry of a potter. A piece of cloth is a poetry of a weaver, like that we have to understand. So this whole world is the kavya of that Satchidananda. This whole world, the whole universe. Devasya pashya kavyam. Look at this whole beautiful, wonderful, mysterious creation of this universe. We can see it anywhere. We can see it anywhere. In the same way, Vishnu karmani pashyata. Vishnu means the one which is omnipresent. Don't go to Puranas where they speak of Vishnu in different stories and other things. It's all fiction. It's not reality. Vishnu means the one which is omnipresent.
Vishal. Yeah.
So that which is omnipresent
Karmani
has
Pashyata.
created this whole universe, has set up this whole universe with its own cosmic laws and other things. So look at it, karma. Karma means kavya only here in this. Vishnoha karmani pashyata, look at it. Now this Satchidananda is the subtlest that we can think of. Sukshmati sukshma. Sukshma is subtle. Sukshmati sukshma is subtlest. It's the subtlest. Because it is the subtlest, it is not possible for our sense organs to experience it. Because the sense organs are gross, they are not subtle. That which is subtle can look at the gross, but that which is gross cannot look at the subtle. This is a very simple scientific thing. Say the eyes are gross. Now the small dust particles are subtle than that. Maybe a virus, a bacteria, or some microbial existence. It is subtler than this eye. So the eyes cannot see it. It needs another thing which is subtler than that is microorganism, and that is a microscope. So I can look at it only through that microscope, not with my naked eye. That is, the principle here is that which is gross cannot experience something which is subtler. And the subtlest we have got is that Satchidananda. So it cannot be seen or experienced through sense organs. So the process has to be totally different. What is that process? That process we call it as inference. Inference. Directly it is not possible, but by looking at the products, the actions, the laws, we try to understand the one which is behind it, the one which is responsible for it. This is how we understand. So now we've got two things. One is what is apparent and what is visible direct, and something which is behind it, which is not directly visible through our sense organs or any tool. But it's possible to experience it straight without the intervention of Sharira Indriya Manas. With the help of Sharira Indriya Manas, we can infer its existence.
Okay.
Now for that, you can take anything, it will take you there. You can study anything, you can understand anything, and you can go back and go to the origin. That is the one which is a cause for all these things. It is one. Ekam Jyotihi. Bahudha Vibhati. Because it can be seen through anything. Yes, you look at it and go behind it, you reach there. But for that, we use the Sharira Indriya Manas, but we have to transcend it and go back. Okay, let us take a few examples. So we see this human eye, for example, human eye. How is the mechanism of this human eye? So when you study it, immediately we are taken to a position where we appreciate the one who has constructed this instrument. And the one which is responsible for constructing this instrument, yes, that is Jyotihi. Ekam Jyoti, it is one. Okay, let us just look at our own eyes. The eyes, if you are not able to wink, what will happen? If you are not able to wink, yes, it will be like this only always. And a lot of dust and other things, everything it is exposed to. So you are in a problem. So what is the thing that happens? We have got those tear glands. And the tear glands continuously throw the tear drops and it keeps the whole eyeball wet. If the tear glands are not working, it's a disease. And they've got a lot of problems. Now those tear glands have to secrete the tear, and for that secretion is winking what we do. So every time we wink, yes, it goes on secreting the tear. Wonderful. So it keeps the whole area which is exposed to the external environment wet. And whatever dust or other things, they stick onto the tear and finally they get collected at the end and we clean it every day. It's a wonderful mechanism. It's only a part of the mechanism telling of the eye. Then what about the lens part of it? Lens part of it. Now the other lens, what we see physically, say made out of this glass or plastic or whatever it is, each has got its own focal length. Each lens has got a focal length. So if I have to change the focal length, I have to change the whole glass itself. Say I've got a short sight of -2. So a -2 glass is available for me. If it is -3, the same glass is not usable. I have to use another one. Similarly, if I am speaking of a telescope, if it's for a small distance, the strength of the telescope is something else. If it's a long distance object which I have to see, then I have to change the lens and look at it. The same lens cannot hold it. This is a limitation. But look at this beautiful lens what we have got here. It can look at a thing which is closer, it can look at a thing which is away. The same lens. How is it happening? So imagine that lens like this. Now it has got two muscle things. So whenever I want to look at something which is closer to me, the lens should have a lesser focal length. So the muscles push it and bulge the lens and bring the focal length to a smaller one.
Yes.
I'm able to see what is closer. I want to look at or focus on something which is at a distance, then the focal length has to be more, and the muscles, they'll just pull the lens and make it thin, and the focal length increases. All this happens just at my thought. That is, if I want to concentrate or focus on something which is closer, yes, it happens automatically. And if you want to focus on something which is at a distance, it happens automatically. Wonderful, wonderful. Just to give one or two things. If you go to an optician, he'll be able to explain a lot of things about this. It's a specialization. And still he says, I have not learned everything about it, I know only this one, there are so many things to be discovered. Just one eyes I am speaking of. That is human eye I am speaking of. You speak of the eye of an animal, it is totally different setup. Like that, we have got thousands and thousands of animals with these eyes. If you go to the insects, they have got hundreds of eyes, it's not one eye they have got. See, even this eye, what we have got, it is binocular. So the vision what you get by closing one eye is limited. So when I open both my eyes, what I get is a spread. I get a better sight. But here also, there is a coherence between the two eyes. That is, both look at the same angle, both look in such a way that they overlap very clearly. Suppose if it is not happening, what will happen? Whatever I am looking at, it appears as 2, 3, 4. That's what happens to those people who are intoxicated. So those who are intoxicated, their whole eyes mechanism gets disturbed and they are not able to see it clearly. Number one. Number two, they are able to see 2, 3 things, confused. You see? One eye has got so much of fantastic things in it. Now the next question is, who is behind it? What made this wonderful thing? Now I understand, yes, there must be an omniscient power behind it. And what is that? That is that Satchidananda. And that is what we are calling it as Jyotihi. And it is one and only one. Ekam Jyotihi. But what it is doing, I can see it anywhere. Just one eye said. You look at ear, how it works. Wonderful. You look at the heart, how it works. I am speaking only of the human organs. You look at anything, you look at a tree, how it functions. You look at the whole water cycle, what we have got. The ocean getting evaporated, getting into a cloud, and finally raining. And the rain again running into rivers and rivulets, and finally reaching the ocean. Again evaporate. A big cycle. Unbelievable, unbelievable. All these things is possible only when we look at it. And where you want it, anywhere you look at it, behind it you have got that system. Behind that you have got that one single power. And what is that? Satchidananda Ekam Jyoti. Anything you take it. It may be inert, it may be tangible, it may be intangible, it may be living, it may be non-living. Anything you take at the micro level, you take at the macro level. Micro level, look at an atom. Lot of systems are there working in that atom. Neutrons, protons, electrons, and the whole system is working according to particular law. In the same way, look at the macro level. The simple one, which we can see, that's our solar system. It is so wonderful. We have got a center, that's the sun, and the planets are rotating around it. Not only that, they are revolving on their own axis, say take Earth, and it revolves in a definite system. It takes 24 hours to revolve once, and it takes 365 days to go round, and the path is definite, fixed. And all these are held just by gravitational forces. We don't have a stand to support it, we don't have a hook to hang it on. So it's all happening. Once you look at it, yes, we are wonderstruck. Anywhere you look at it, you look at the sun, you look at the moon, you look at the stars, you look at the plant, you look at an insect, anywhere, you look inside ourselves. Because that one single power is shining everywhere, has got its rules everywhere, has got its systems everywhere, micro, macro, anything. Now that's the beauty of it. We should be able to observe it and go behind it. That's the thing what we have to do. Now we say there are people who are atheists, who don't believe in the existence of Satchidananda or God. They are very, 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 very short-sighted. They are not able to look into it, or they are not able to look behind it. When you start looking deep into it and understanding the laws, then we definitely at one point of time understand that there is a greater force which is working behind all these things. And what is that? Ekam Jyoti. It is that one which is, Jyoti means light in the physical sense, and that which is omniscient in the highest sense. There is one omniscient power which is responsible for all these things. We have got the physical world. We can take the physical world itself. In the physical world, we have got, as I said, different elements. And these elements have their own property. And these properties are fixed. They are not ambiguous. They are very clear. So and so having such and such an atomic number, atomic weight, will behave like this only. It has got its valency like this only. It's fixed. Upon that, it's possible for me to conduct a lot of experiments and create my own things. I'm able to create it. But the basic material is not mine. The basic law is not mine. But I understand the law and use the already available basic material to construct whatever I want. I can do it. Paper is not readily available. For example, paper is not readily available. Wood is available. Bamboo is available. So I use them and make it into a pulp and finally take out my paper. How it's possible? Because the properties of wood and the properties of bamboo are in such a way that I can roll it out into a paper. That's the property. I understand the property, discover it, and convert it to a pulp and then into paper. Of course, paper is my creation. But for preparing this paper, the properties that are in the bamboo or that are in the wood, they are responsible. Who created that property? You see, there we have to look into it.
Okay.
There is one system which has set up these properties in them, and that is what we call it as Ekam Jyoti. It's there. It's there. It may not be in the form of an idol. It may not be in the form of a photo. Because a photo is my own creation. A drawing is my own creation. An idol is my own sculpting. Where we have to look into, okay, there is an idol. Now this idol is created by a sculptor, excellent. But a sculptor, to create this idol, he wanted some raw material, say that was a rock or wood, and who created that rock or wood? Definitely not the sculptor. So to look back into it, there is some power which has established the properties in a rock. There is a power which has established the system that works in a wood. And understanding it, a sculptor later converted into an idol or a form. So which is that Ekam Jyoti I am speaking of. It's not this idol that is created later. It's not that figure that is created later, but the one, the raw material which was created by a force, and that is Ekam Jyoti.
Okay.
You look at anything, you look at a piece of stone, you look at a piece of dust, you look at a piece of leaf, a tree, a flower, an insect, an animal. You look at anywhere, you will find this. Where? Behind it. We have to infer its existence. And what is that? Ekam Jyoti. That Ekam Jyoti is available everywhere, everywhere. And it shines in thousands and thousands of innumerous ways. Bahudha vibhati. It is showing itself. That Ekam Jyoti is showing itself, not directly, but through its works. Where is its work? Anywhere, anywhere. In us, outside us, right, left, top, bottom, anywhere you look into it. Yes, it is there. Now this is the way of understanding this world. Only understand the world in this sense, yes, we'll be confirmed about the existence of Satchidananda. And we'll be confirmed about the rules and setup or the systems that are there because of that Satchidananda. And what's the final outcome? Once we understand the rules and regulation, the system that they are working here, yes, we'll be better fit to the environment. We fit ourselves better to our lives. We fit ourselves better to our goals. It's very simple. Say we work in an office. A very simple example, we work in an office, let us say. Now we will be a very good worker in that office only when we understand the whole system of the office, the whole philosophy of the office, the whole purpose and goal and aims and objectives of the office or the organization. If I don't understand the aims and the objectives of the organization, then I will be misfit and I will be fired the very next day. I can stay there, I can improve and better my career only when I understand the aims and objectives of the institution, its rules and regulations, its systems. I have to fit myself to that system. Then I'll be a good fit in that organization. And I can come up very fast. If I'm not able to understand what is happening there, I commit a lot of blunders, I commit a lot of mistakes, and I'm not there the next day. It's very simple. It's the same way. It's the same way. Now it's a very big organization. The whole universe is a very big organization. Anywhere, in us, outside us, in any direction, yes, we are able to feel. We are able to feel the existence of. We are able to see the existence of that Ekam Jyoti. That is one Satchidananda. But one very, very important thing here is our eyes and the soul should be open. If we close it, the sun is shining, we say there is no light. That's our problem. This sun is shining always, everywhere, anywhere. The only requirement is I have to open up, that's all. If I open up, yes, I'll be able to look at it. If I open up, I'll be able to experience it because it is shining everywhere. Bahudha vibhati. Bahudha means in numerous ways it is shining. It appeals to any person of any caliber, of any knowledge. Say a person who is very knowledgeable is able to see it in a very wide expanse. A person with a limited knowledge also can experience in a limited way. Because Bahudha vibhati, it is shining all different ways, different levels, different forces, different frequencies. Bahudha vibhati, different frequencies. Our frequency may be different from somebody else's frequency, but we can experience it at all frequencies because it is omnipresent and it is one which is existing everywhere. Ekam Jyotihi Bahudha vibhati. So to understand this, we will be always be capable of experiencing that Satchidananda. And once we are in touch with the Satchidananda, okay, the whole world is beautiful, wonderful, lovely. Because the Satchidananda is Ananda itself and we are with it always. If you are in a state of depression, if you are in a state of sorrow, it's a clear indication that we are not connected to that Satchidananda. Yes, we have forgotten a bit. We are brought down to our physical levels, we are brought down to our mundane levels and we are in a problem. But whenever it's possible for us to lift ourselves up and able to see in a subtle way, in a subtlest way possible, the existence of that Ekam Jyotihi, yes, we are never depressed, we are never worried, and we can take the whole world in a lovely stride. That's the beauty of it. And for this we need not go in search of that anywhere because it is shining in everything and everywhere. Right? The only things we have to open up, that's all the thing. Bahudha vibhati, it is shining everywhere and in every way possible and all frequencies. If I open up, yes, it is there, then at the very moment. And once you are in communication with that, once you are in relation with it, yes, that lifts up our energies, that boosts up our moods and everything, and will be always be in a peace and comfortable position. That's all fine to say, but to practice it and to experience it, yes, it needs our effort, it needs our, what I call it, as sadhana, our honest endeavors. If you do it, yes, it's available. So that's about this piece of the Veda mantra, Ekam Jyotihi Bahudha Vibhati. So it is one single great light. It's not the physical light, it's the light of that knowledge and experience and that ananda and peace. It is shining everywhere. You have it if you want it. If we close our eyes, we are lost to it. It is there always. It is shining and shining and shining.